it's Holly and welcome back to my book world. So for today's video, I'm going to share 10 bookish facts about myself, just so you guys can get to know me a little bit better. So yeah, let's just jump right on into my bookish facts. Fact number 1. I have to have background noise when I am reading a book, especially when I am home alone. If I am home alone and I want to read a book, I have to have the TV on, but it has to be on a show that I have seen a million times that I don't really need to pay attention to, or it has to be one that I don't really care for, that I'm not going to pay attention to. But I need background noise at all times when I am home alone, just because when I'm not home alone, there's always background noise in the following room, so I don't have to worry about that. But when I listen to an audiobook, there has to be complete silence. And what I mean by complete silence, like nothing, a dish clank, nothing can be happening, because I need my focus on that audiobook and nothing else can be distracting me. I even try to hide my phone, because if I go on my phone to like look at Facebook or Twitter or something like that, no way do I even know what the heck is happening in that audiobook, and then I basically want to just start it all over again. Fact number 2. I absolutely hate cracked spines, dents, scratches, writing in books, different covers in a series that they changed midway through, and my worst one is when someone borrows my book and they are a lick the finger page turner. Now what I mean by that is when they have to lick their fingers and turn the page. Now I'm sorry, but when you are borrowing my book, I don't want your grody nasty spit. I don't know when the last time was that you brushed your teeth, or what the last thing was that you ate, and if there's crumbs on your tongue that you just licked your finger with and flipped my page. No, I don't lick my finger to even flip my own pages. You sure in the heck ain't gonna be flipping my pages with your licked fingers. And an example of that is, I lent out a book, I seen the person licking their fingers and turning my page, and then it didn't get returned to me for a long time, so I'm like, nope, I'm not going to ask for that back. 1, because I don't know how many times you've licked your fingers and touched those pages. 2, I don't know if you washed your hands before that. I don't know what kind of condition this book is in. There is no way I'm putting that back on my shelf. So let's just say I went out and bought another copy and told the person just to keep it. No thank you. Fact number 3. I love all genres of books. I love contemporary, new adult romance, horror, thriller, fantasy. I love them all. But if I had to choose my least favorite, it would definitely have to be adult romance or erotic, if you should choose to say that. But yeah, that would have to be my least favorite if I had to literally choose. But other than that, I don't like choosing because I love them all. Number 4. My all-time favorite childhood read was, and still is, one of my all-time favorite books, and that is Matilda by Roald Dahl. I probably read this about 800 times as a kid, and probably a good 20 times as an adult. The only thing when I finally got my own copy of Matilda was, when I was younger, I remember this book being like gigantic, huge, and now it's not huge. It's fairly tiny. It's just weird how when you're younger you perceive books as huge and way bigger, and now you look at them and they're like tiny. So yeah, this is my favorite childhood book. Fact number 5. I am usually reading 2 to 3 books at a time. Now what I mean by 2 to 3 books is 2 are physical reads, and the third one is usually an audiobook, or one may be a physical read and the second may be an audiobook. Now, I do have all 3 books because I cannot read an audiobook, or I mean listen to an audiobook, if I don't own that physical copy, because I like to follow along with my bookmark when I stop reading, just in case I lose my mark on my audiobook or something like that. But it just makes it feel like it's more real and it's more like a physical read than it is just listening to it. It just makes me feel better that I am knocking off a TBR book, but I'm actually following along with it rather than just letting it sit on my shelf while I listen to the audiobook. I just feel like it's more realistic, if I must say so. Fact number 6. I have a total of 55 books on my TBR. I am totally, I don't know what to say about that. That is a lot. That is just sad. I should have less than that, but I have to buy so many books that I can't help it. Either that number just goes down 2 books, and then it goes up 2 books, and then it goes down like 2, and then it goes up like 10. Yeah, I may have a book buying problem, but hopefully that number gets down to at least 30 or 20. That's still a lot, but I'd feel a heck of a lot better than 55. If it ever gets up to 100, I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably have to ban myself from buying books for probably a good 3 years. And I know that ain't ever gonna happen, so let's hope it never gets to 100. Fact number 7. I have 3 notebooks in which, 1, I keep track of the books I have read, the month that I have read them in, how many pages, and the star rating that I have given it, which is this book here. It just says, I love books on it. And then when you open it, you just see something sort of like this. So you have the number, of course, that it is read, the name of the book, the author of the book, the date that it was finished, so the month and the exact day, and then it has my star rating, and then how many pages were in that book. Now this goes in the order that I finished them in. It's not out of order. It is definitely the order that I finished them in. The second notebook that I have is to keep track of bookish quotes that I really like. So when I put a sticky tab in a book, just to keep track of that quote, it goes in this notebook. So when you open this one up, you'll see the quote, the book that it was in, and if it was said by a character or if it just was in general. And then the ones with the red stars are my all-time favorites. And moving on to the third book, well, it's kind of like a binder. That is where I keep track of my TBR books and the books that I own. And in the very back of it, I have all the books I'd like to buy. And if they are coming out later on, then I put the date that they come out just beside it. So I will just quickly show you an example. So when you open it up, you just see my TBR shelf, which is like 2 pages long. That's how I know that I have 55 books. And then I have a counter page, which has a bunch of rules to it. And then when I go in, it has the books that I own, which are sorted into the genre. So I have contemporary, romance, fantasy, horror, mystery, thriller, and then others. So that is like true stories, so like memoirs and stuff like that don't really fit into like a fantasy and that kind of thing. And then when you flip all the way to the back, I have 3 pages of books that I would eventually like to buy. The ones marked off in blue are the ones that I have bought, so I don't need to buy them again. And like I said, the date that they do come out if they're not already out, and then just the name of the book and the name of the author. So with that being said, those are the 3 books that I keep track of, basically everything I need to know. And if you guys are interested in little tours of those books, please leave those comments down below and I'd be happy to do that for you. Fact number 8. Now this may come to be a huge surprise because it still surprises me to this day and it's very shameful for myself and I have no excuses as to why. But I have not finished the last 2 books in the Hunger Games series. Yes, put all that shame down below in the comments. Tell me to pick them up ASAP. But I do kind of have an understanding and kind of why I haven't read them. It is not because I haven't read the first one, because I have, and it's not because I haven't enjoyed it or didn't enjoy the first one. I really did enjoy the first one. But I think what happened was I was so intrigued by the movie that I picked it up. I did read it before I seen the movie. So that is a bonus. But I think what really happened was I was in high school and I was not an avid reader then. I used to be an avid reader when I was younger. But as I was in high school, I got pushed to read things that I didn't enjoy. So I just kind of pushed reading out of my life until literally the year that I graduated. And even the year that I graduated, I didn't pick up a physical book to read and get into a huge reading mood until after I physically graduated and was done school. So I think what happened was I was in that mood where I wanted to read it, so I picked up the first one because it was hugely hyped back then, and then I didn't like reading. I didn't want nothing to do with it. It wasn't that I didn't like it, I just wasn't intrigued in it because I had so many assignments for, books that I was supposed to read that I didn't enjoy, that I just didn't pick up the other two because I was just not in the mindset to read. But I'm hoping to get to them hopefully in the next few months, whether it's before the end of this year or the beginning of next year. But all in all, I want to reread the first one and then move on into the second and third books. Fact number 9. So, if you haven't known, if I had to choose my least favorite, I've already told you, but if I had to choose my top favorite genre to read, it would definitely have to be YA contemporary. There's just something about the cuteness of YA contemporary, and some of them still have strong messages that come across to you. They don't have to be adult. I just enjoy them so much. So definitely if I had to choose my favorite, it would definitely be YA contemporary. And last but not least, number 10 is I own a total of 147 books. So I own a total of 147 books. I have 55 on my TBR. That's not a good number, but 147 books I'm pretty happy with. I don't have one of the biggest collection of books just because I don't have that much space, but 147 books that I do own, I am very, very happy that I do own, and I'm very happy and privileged that I even have the opportunity to even own 147 books, because there are lots of people out there that can't even afford to own 2 books. So I'm not complaining, but I am super happy that I own a total of 147 books. So those are 10 bookish facts about myself. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it wasn't too boring, but I definitely am in a mode where I need all the inspiration that I can get. So I need those comments down below of bookish videos that you guys would like to see. I would love any suggestions, any book tags, reviews, anything. I just need suggestions. I'm running out of suggestions, except for like book hauls and wrap-ups and TBRs. So like I said, leave those comments down below, and if you guys are interested in tours of my 3 notebooks, so this one that I keep track of the TBR books, the books that I own, and the releases that I want to buy, or the ones that are released that I want to buy, the quotes that are in this notebook, and all the books that I have read, or how I keep track of the books that I have read over the past few years. I would really like those comments down below too, because I would definitely be interested in showing you guys quick tours of those, as well as if you guys would like a bookshelf tour, please leave those comments down below. So there's lots of stuff that I would like to interact with you guys, and also I'd like to know some bookish facts about yourself, or if you share any of the same bookish facts with me, that would be super interesting. But anyways, that is all. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next bookish video. Bye-bye!